My name is Emma. Because of a childhood sweetheart's words, my husband Ethan decided to abandon me. Pregnant. In a snowy wilderness. My pleas were met with his icy gaze. Vivi's still fighting for her life in the ER. Stop playing the victim, pregnancy isn't that fragile. Left bleeding in the snow. I became prey to wild beasts. Falling down a cliff during escape. I broke 3 ribs. My blood stained the snow crimson. By dawn, hypothermia and hemorrhaging landed me in emergency surgery. Waking to find my lower leg amputated. Tears finally fell. Ethan. Let's get a divorce. Ethan gently cradled my hand. His words faltering. What did you say? His fingers traced my bandages. Don't be rash. We'll have other children. I'll get you the best prosthetic. His tenderness made me doubt reality. Was this the same man who'd thrown me to the wolves? Yesterday was my birthday. He'd surprised me with a ski trip. Our first quality time in months. We kissed in the gondola's glass capsule. Suspended above winter wonderland, until the hospital called. Family member of Vivi? She nearly drowned. Come immediately. Ethan moved to leave instantly. I gripped his sleeve. Why always her? Why does she sabotage every moment we have? Vivi, his childhood friend's sister, had become his perpetual damsel in distress. Her latest provocation still rang in my ears. Just wait, Ethan will come running tomorrow. When I'd warned Ethan about her schemes, he'd looked at me with disgust. Why this vendetta? She's like a sister. Would you have me abandon her during medical crisis? His empty promise, I'll make up your birthday tomorrow, echoed countless betrayals. Our first anniversary, Vivi fainted at her brother's grave. Summoning Ethan from our bed. Christmas Eve, she hallucinated her brother's ghost. Landing in psych ward. Valentine's Day, she crashed our family dinner claiming homesickness. Now this, abandoning his pregnant wife on a mountain. I'll never forget the hot gush between my legs when he pushed me from the car. Blood soaked through snow pants as I dialed with shaking hands. Ethan. I'm in pain, for one heartbeat. Concern colored his voice. Hold on. I'm coming back. Then Vivi's theatrical whisper, Emma must hate me. Go to her. I'll manage alone. Instantly. His tone hardened. Stop faking. You rode horses pregnant, snow won't hurt you. I'll come when I can. The hang-up click sealed my fate. Stumbling downhill. I heard beasts approaching. Not wolves, wild boars. Running blind through snow. I plummeted off the cliff. 3 broken ribs. Leg crushed between pines. Phone lost. -20°C frostbite setting in. As consciousness faded, I finally understood, to Ethan. I'd always be second to Vivi. The doctor said you can be discharged this afternoon. I'll go handle the paperwork first. Ethan fled the hospital room as if escaping. Moments later, Vivi appeared at the doorway. Tilting her chin haughtily. You're such a burden. So you lost your legs, why should Ethan run errands for you? You should manage yourself. Ethan returned just then. Frowning. Vivi. That's not. Vivi tilted her head. Clinging to his arm. Ethan. Emma needs to adapt to wheelchair life eventually. Shouldn't she start practicing independence now? She turned to me with saccharine concern. Emma. Even if you hire caregivers, you'll need to adjust to being disabled. Her words made Ethan nod thoughtfully. Emma. Vivi has a point. Phantom pain shot through my missing limbs as my nails dug into my palms. I tasted blood at the back of my throat. Wordlessly, I held out my hand for the discharge papers. Vivi abruptly wheeled me into the chaotic hospital lobby. Overwhelmed by the crowd, I struggled to maneuver the clunky wheelchair. Ethan watched with guilty eyes but stayed silent. In the elevator, my wheelchair took up too much space. An elderly man sneered. Why do cripples even go out? Just stay home. Others joined the chorus, disgusting. Bad luck seeing trash first thing. Someone shoved me violently as the doors opened. I crashed to the floor. A boot crushed my hand. Through the pain, I saw Ethan lunging toward me, only for Vivi to grab his arm. Let her learn. Ethan. This is exactly what my brother went through after his amputation. Her eyes welled with perfect tears as she collapsed against his chest. Oh, Ethan. I miss him so much. Instantly forgotten. I hauled myself upright using the elevator rails. Across the lobby. They embraced like tragic lovers. A bystander cooed. What a sweet couple. When Ethan finally approached. His voice held clinical detachment. See? This was good practice for your new reality. He lifted me into the car where Vivi already waited. Ethan. My friends invited me horseback riding tomorrow. You'll drive me. Right? She gasped theatrically. Oh, Emma. I forgot you can't ride anymore. How awful, you loved hiking so much. Ethan cut her off impatiently. None of this is Vivi's fault. You caused your own tragedy by wandering off that mountain trail. Maybe next time you'll listen when I tell you to stay put. As the car pulled away, phantom pains throbbed where my legs used to be. But the real agony came from watching Vivi's triumphant smile in the rearview mirror, and Ethan's hand resting protectively on her knee. I gritted my teeth silently when Ethan suddenly exploded. Speak up. Can't you see how guilty Vivi feels about you? Stop blaming others for your own mistakes. The car screeched to a halt as Ethan's voice turned thunderous. Emma. Stop being stubborn with me. Vivian pretended to intervene. Ethan. Don't be angry. This is all my fault. Emma never liked me anyway. I should just get out now. Tomorrow I'll move out of the house. She actually opened the car door and disappeared into the crowd before Ethan could stop her. Ethan lunged after her but returned empty-handed. Bang, he kicked the car door shut with a violent thud, yanking open the passenger side to seize my arm brutally. What the hell do you want? We tried talking nicely but you wouldn't listen. Now you're driving Vivi away? That girl could be in real danger out there tonight. If anything happens to her, how do I face her brother? His fingers left purple bruises on my flesh. All traces of tenderness gone from his face. I took several steadying breaths. What about me? Ethan froze. What? Meeting his gaze, I continued. You're worried about her safety tonight. But when you abandoned me on that mountain, did you ever think about me? You promised to come back. Ethan. I waited all night. Wiping away tears, I stared coldly at him. I was carrying your child, his fist smashed into the windshield. Enough with the drama. Vivi needed me urgently yesterday. Why must you always compete with her? How was I supposed to know pregnancy made you weak? Besides, your miscarriage happened because you wandered off recklessly. His glare turned warning. Never mention this again. It'll upset Vivi. Upset her? She's probably celebrating. As I tried to leave, Ethan dragged me back into the car. We sped home where he locked me in our bedroom. I'll fix your leg situation later. First I'm bringing Vivi back. There's nothing between us. If it bothers you, I'll keep my distance. Lying in bed, I bitterly mocked my choice in husbands. Past midnight, Vivi texted me a video, her wearing pajamas nestled in Ethan's arms. Both flushed. Don't worry. Ethan's resting well. Funny. He kept murmuring your nickname in his sleep. Nausea rose as I watched Ethan mumble M repeatedly. You're nothing but a cheap trickster. Relax. I'll gladly hand over this cheating bastard to you. I unleashed every venomous word imaginable. I awoke being violently dragged across the floor. Vivi's fake scream pierced the air as Ethan choked my jaw. Eyes feral. You psychotic bitch. How dare you speak to Vivi like that? Have I been too lenient with you? He shook me savagely, heedless of my injuries. Face twisted with pure hatred. How can you be so vicious? I gasped for breath, struggling to restrain his wrist as I kept explaining. She was the one who provoked me first. You didn't come home last night, you were sleeping with her. Weren't you? Before I could finish, the hand around my throat tightened. Ethan glared at me with venom. Stop making up lies. I was at Sean's place last night. Vivi just gave me a ride. You used such cruel words against an innocent girl. Why can't you show some basic decency? No wonder you'd use our child as bargaining chips. Apologize to Vivi right now. Scalp burning with pain. My heart shattered completely. Why should I apologize? If you don't believe me, Check the messages your precious sister sent on my phone. But he flung my phone across the room. Enough with your schemes. You just want to frame Vivi again. Either apologize to Vivi today, or get out. I won't arrange any caretakers for you either. You can come back when you learn to get along with her. I stared at Ethan in disbelief. His lips pressed into a thin line. Having second thoughts? Then you should. Fine. I interrupted. I'll do it. Ethan seized the opportunity to berate me again. Stop playing these mind games. You think acting distant will manipulate me? Emma. Have some conscience. Vivi's brother is my best friend, you expect me to cut ties and become dishonorable? You've made everything so awkward between us. Do you ever consider my feelings? Do you think it doesn't tear me apart seeing you like this? His gaze wavered. So apologize to Vivi now. No negotiations. Exhaustion washed over me. Ethan kept dismissing my requests for space while clinging to Vivi. How many chances did I need to give him? Memories surfaced of our early days, him calling me his first love. Promising forever. He'd accompany me on skydiving trips and rock climbing expeditions. Even renting an entire Swiss ski resort for me. After years of marriage without children, he'd fiercely defended me against cruel rumors. I'd endured painful IVF treatments only to miscarry. What did my sacrifices even achieve? I'd abandoned my Hong Kong career and graduate school offers to become his adventure sports coach. People shouldn't anchor their entire existence to someone else. The only reliable person is yourself. All right. I'll apologize. My voice stayed flat. All resentment gone. Vivi smirked. Emma. You're not being forced by Ethan. Are you? I can't accept insincere apologies from my sister-in-law. Ethan shoved my head down, forcing my wheelchair into a 90-degree bow. Say it. I'm sorry. I murmured. This won't happen again. Ethan finally smiled, kissing my forehead. Good girl. Now that you two get along, I can relax. Vivi tugged Ethan's arm. Ethan. Take me to the equestrian club. I'm late. When Ethan glanced at me uncertainly, I smiled. Go ahead. I need rest. Relief flooded his face as they left. Okay. I'll bring you some food when I come back. All right? The moment they left, I booked a flight to Harbor City. As my cab approached the airport, Ethan's call came through. My assistant said you bought plane tickets. What's going on? I forced sweetness into my voice. Just need some fresh air. Don't worry, I got tickets for you and Vivi too. You'll see when you return. He didn't question it, though I could hear Vivi's excited squeal in the background. Ethan. Ride the same horse with me. I cut off his explanation. Go enjoy yourself. 1 hour later, my plane pierced through clouds as I entered Harbor City's humid air. Grace, my former boss turned media entrepreneur, came to meet me. When she approached, I instinctively shifted my wheelchair to hide my disability. She gripped my hand firmly. No need for that, she said gently. Emma, you're stronger than I imagined. These trials will become your armor. Tears I'd held back for weeks finally fell as Grace wiped them carefully. With me around, you'll thrive here. While unpacking at the hotel, Ethan's calls flooded in. He must have found the divorce papers by now. I silenced my phone, blocking each new number. We'd said all there was to say years ago. The Victoria Harbor's night lights shimmered like when I'd wished for happiness here a decade ago. Now I only wanted rebirth. Yet Ethan persisted, using dozens of numbers I kept blocking. Why chase me when he could finally be with his precious Vivi? When I finally answered, his voice cracked with exhaustion. You picked up. Where are you? Emma? Let's talk this through. The ticket his assistant found was fake. He'd likely flown to Maple Country searching. Mr. Ford. I said coldly. We're divorced. There's nothing left to discuss. Panic edged his words. I never agreed to divorce. What's happening? Don't I deserve clarity? His lighter clicked as he inhaled. Stop this game. Emma. I laughed bitterly. How dare he paint me as the villain? Our marriage ended the day you brought Vivi home. I'm simply making room for your true match. No need for invitations, may the gold digger and cheater last forever. Vivi snatched the phone. Shrill with outrage. Emma. How could you? Do you know what Ethan sacrificed searching for you? What gives you the right to trample on his feelings like this? I snapped impatiently, cutting off her theatrics. None of your damn business. I'll do whatever I want. Vivi retorted furiously. You're impossible. Ethan. Stop chasing her. She's probably already seeing someone else. I could practically see her smug expression through the phone. To my surprise, Ethan grabbed the receiver and growled. Emma isn't that kind of person. Stop spreading lies. Vivi's voice trembled. How could you doubt me? She burst into fake sobs and stormed out. I laughed coldly. Go comfort your precious sweetheart. This time, no one's around to be your punching bag. I slammed the phone down. He resumed his daily pestering until I finally forwarded Vivi's years of venomous texts to Ethan. The bombardment stopped instantly. Ethan stared in shock at the screen. Vulgar insults flooding his vision. He couldn't reconcile these words with the gentle, caring Vivi he thought he knew. How? His hands shook as my past accusations echoed in his mind. Why are you always with her? Can't you see she's obsessed with you? She's faking everything around you. Why won't you believe me? My desperate pleas had only fueled his distrust. Every criticism of Vivi became jealousy in his eyes. At first, he'd seemed smug about my obsession with him. Over time, he'd branded me petty and unreasonable, the villain in Vivi's saintly narrative. His mind spiraled to that frozen night, the night our child died. Vivi had claimed some emergency, keeping him occupied until hypothermia and blood loss nearly killed me. Agony twisted his features as he smashed his fist into the wall. Ethan? Vivi entered with a lunchbox. All saccharine concern. You need to eat. We'll find Emma eventually. She lifted a bite toward his lips. Ethan hurled the table across the room. Scalding broth drenched Vivi's designer blouse. What was that for? She shrieked, crocodile tears welling. He yanked her hair back, forcing her to see their damning chat history on his phone. You poisoned my marriage. He roared. These messages are why she left. You think I'd tolerate this? Vivi clawed at his grip, gasping. I just loved you too much. Don't you see? Her tearful facade cracked into something manic. Why choose that boring housewife when I've worshipped you for years? I'll scream it from rooftops, you're mine. Ethan recoiled as if burned. The delusion in her eyes mirrored every paranoid accusation he'd once thrown at me. Karma. Served piping hot. I did it on purpose. Stealing you away from her countless times. Ethan slapped Vivi in a fit of rage. You're insane. You caused her miscarriage. You made her lose her legs forever. Vivi was pinned to the floor. Yet she laughed maniacally. Was it really me? Ethan. You're the one who made her lose the baby and her legs. You chose me over her every single time. You pushed her away with your own hands. Her eyes gleamed with madness. You were always meant to be mine. Ethan's face darkened. Vivi. I regret ever taking you in. If not for my promise to Brother Lee before he died, he sneered. You think I could love you? Never. Vivi completely lost it, scratching Ethan's face bloody. Emma already filed for divorce. Why can't you forget that bitch? She's probably sleeping around anyway. Ethan signaled his assistants to restrain her. Rubbing his temples, he declared tiredly. Send her back to the Lee family's countryside estate. We've sheltered her long enough. Panic flashed through Vivi's eyes. No. You promised my brother. They'll sell me to some old farmer. Ethan. Please. Take her away. The first snow fell as Port City lit up with Christmas decorations. My wheelchair glided smoothly across the renovated accessible ramp at the office. 6 months after losing my child and legs, I'd learned to see the world differently, noticing cracked tactile paving, poorly designed restrooms, and the quiet struggles others ignored. My accessibility advocacy campaign went viral. Grace patted my shoulder proudly. When you arrived in autumn, I worried you'd never smile again. But you proved me wrong. At the product launch event, I wheeled onto the stage confidently. Half a year ago, my world collapsed. But I refused to let tragedy define me. The audience fell silent. I came to Port City alone. Broken. But here's what I learned. Our darkest moments can become our greatest strength. As I exited backstage, a melodic voice stopped me. Miss Morgan. Your brooch. The handsome stranger smiled, extending the jewelry. His tailored suit couldn't disguise the tech mogul aura. Every media professional knew Sean's reputation. Thank you, Mr. Chase. Sean. His eyes crinkled. I know, not what you expected from the tech tycoon title. Before I could respond, he continued. I came to ask if you'd consider testing our new neural-controlled prosthetic legs. Your advocacy aligns perfectly with our vision. The fluorescent lights hummed above us as snowflakes drifted past the windows. Somewhere beyond the glass, Christmas bells rang. This made me nod in agreement. Okay. I want to try, I said. He handed me his business card. Contact me when you're free. I see someone else is waiting for you. So I won't keep you. I was puzzled about who could be looking for me until I turned around and saw Ethan storming toward me. Who was that man? What's your relationship with him? His eyes burned crimson, resembling a deranged fanatic. I've searched for you everywhere these past 6 months. How could you be so heartless? Emma, why did you abandon our love so easily? Were you already involved with him? I couldn't help laughing bitterly. Yes. I'm with him now. What's it to you? Ethan. You're acting like a rabid dog. Barking and biting at everyone. Listen carefully, we're divorced. You have no right to question who I date. Remarrying and starting over is my freedom. It's none of your damn business. My outburst left Ethan trembling. You're lying. You couldn't move on this fast. I know you still care about me. Emma. I was wrong to doubt you. Please don't be angry. Tears streamed down his face as he gingerly reached for my hand. Let's cancel the divorce. I love you. I truly do. Vivian's gone forever, she'll never interfere again. We can try for another baby. Just give me one more chance. I violently shook off his grasp. You think sending Vivian away makes you some hero? The pig finally notices the tree after crashing into it? Where were you when she tormented me? Ethan. You make me sick. Marrying you was my life's biggest regret. He clutched his chest like I'd stabbed him. Stop. I know I failed you. But my remorse is real. I don't want this divorce, you're the only one I love. I brushed imaginary dirt off my shoulder. Too bad I don't love you anymore. I refuse to be part of your twisted drama with Vivian. You're just an embarrassing footnote in my romantic history. Now get lost before I call the police. Though Ethan kept glancing back like a lost puppy, he eventually left. I assumed his pride would make him give up. But weeks later discovered he'd permanently relocated to Harbor City. The news soured my mood until Sean called with life-changing news. At his company's lab, technicians fitted me with an advanced prosthetic exoskeleton. The moment it activated, my chronic phantom limb pain vanished. Supported by Sean, I took tentative steps that soon mirrored natural movement. It's working. I wept, embracing him fiercely. Thank you. This is beyond anything I imagined. Walking unaided to the window, I watched sunlight pierce through storm clouds, mirroring the hope flooding my heart. Sean drove me home afterward, where we spotted a familiar silhouette waiting at my apartment entrance. Ethan, my smile dissolved into a scowl. What do you want? Ethan waved his hands in explanation. I noticed you hadn't come back for hours and got worried about your safety. So I waited downstairs. I stepped out of the car. When Ethan saw me standing upright, tears streamed down his face. Thank God. You can finally walk again. Congratulations. This time I didn't reject his well wishes. Thank you. Now please stop appearing before me. Every time I see you, I'm reminded of the legs I lost and that child. Your presence keeps me trapped in the darkness of the past. Ethan, can't you just let me go? Now that I have prosthetic legs and can live normally, your complete disappearance from my life is necessary. My words shattered Ethan's defenses. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Honey, I just wanted to watch over you from afar. Why won't you even grant me that? I love you desperately. I'll pull you out of this hell with my own hands. Please. Let me love you again. No. My answer was final. Don't make me hate you. The words left Ethan speechless. He'd become gaunt and disheveled, his clothes hanging loosely on his frame. The polished man from before had vanished completely. His shoulders slumped as he trembled before me. No second chances? But I only want your happiness. Yet his version of happiness had brought me endless pain. Without another word, I turned and entered my apartment building. Ethan remained standing in the torrential rain all night. Only at dawn did he drag his exhausted body back to his car. Days later, friends informed me he'd returned to the mainland. Relief washed over me. Sean and I gradually became closer. One day he confessed his feelings. But I declined. I've realized there are more important things than romance right now. I can't invest the emotional energy required for a relationship. Undeterred, Sean began accompanying me everywhere. As I ventured into new endeavors, he became my constant shadow. Then came the shocking message from home: Ethan died by suicide. The guilt over causing my accident and losing our child had festered into an incurable wound. Before his death, he'd worked tirelessly and left his entire fortune to me. I donated every cent to disability support organizations. Those funds would help countless others rebuild their lives. Over time, I established my own nonprofit initiatives, growing stronger through each challenge. The pain that once crippled me became the fuel propelling me forward, proof that even the deepest wounds can transform into wings.